title custodian of the line. When people think about government buildings, they picture power. Suits, flags, secret meetings behind polished oak doors. They don't picture the janitor. That's why I saw it first. I've worked night shift at the Federal Administrative Complex in downtown Erie, Pennsylvania for 11 years. Same routine. Clock in at 10:45 p.m. Empty trash. Mop hallways. Avoid eye contact with the security guards who act like they're guarding nuclear codes instead of conference rooms. The building empties out by 9. By midnight, it's a cathedral of fluorescent lights and humming vents. That's when the walls feel thin. That's when you notice things. It happened on a Thursday. I was waxing the marble outside the Office of International Affairs, 4th floor, restricted wing. Most of the staff, there are political appointees, advisors, analysts. One of them was Deputy Director Harold Wren. Clean cut, mid-40s, smile too symmetrical, eyes too still. He worked late every night. At 12:37 a.m., I heard something from his office. Not movement, not a phone call. It sounded like wet fabric being pulled apart. A slow stretching sound. I figured he was still there, maybe sick. I grabbed a fresh trash liner and knocked lightly. Mr. Wren. Maintenance. Silence. Then something hit the floor inside. Heavy, meaty. I shouldn't have looked, but I did. The door wasn't latched all the way. It cracked open when I pushed it. The lights were off. The blinds were shut, but moonlight from the skyline bled through the edges. And in that thin silver glow, I saw him. Except it wasn't him. Something tall stood in the middle of the office. Its back was to me. Its skin hung loose like a coat, one size too big. Pale gray, slick, on the floor at its feet. Harold Wren, or what used to be him. His body was folded in on itself, like discarded clothing. The thing standing over him lifted its arms and pulled. Its face opened. Not mouth, face, like clay splitting down the center. Inside was a black cavity, threaded with thin, twitching filaments. It bent down and lowered itself over Harold Wren's body. The stretching sound filled the room again. Skin swallowing skin. Bones cracking into new positions. It stood back up, adjusted its tie, rolled its shoulders, and when it turned, it was him. Perfect, except for one thing. It blinked sideways, like something practicing being human. I don't remember getting to the stairwell. I don't remember vomiting in the mop sink. I only remember thinking, there is no one I can tell. Police, he meets with them. Supervisors, he signs their checks. Security, they salute him. I finished my shift like nothing happened. I kept my head down, and I called Marcus. Marcus has been my best friend since high school. He runs a small auto shop and believes every conspiracy theory you can think of. Black budgets, hidden tech, underground bases. When I told him what I saw, there was a long silence. Then he said, "You serious?" "Yes." "You didn't drink tonight?" "No." Another silence. "You're saying an alien replaced a federal official." "I'm saying I watched something peel him like a coat and step into him." Marcus exhaled slowly. "If that's true, it ain't just one." I felt my chest tighten. "What do you mean?" "You think something smart enough to get into the government comes alone." The next night, I watched him. Harold Wren. He moved perfectly. He spoke perfectly. But he didn't breathe right. Too even. too measured, and he never blinked when people did. Like he was sinking, learning, downloading. I started noticing little things. A receptionist who used to chatter non-stop now spoke in precise, trimmed sentences. A security guard who once joked with me stared too long before answering questions. At the post office, the mailman paused when I said his name, just a fraction too long. The cop who directs traffic downtown, his smile stayed up half a second too long after the conversation ended. Everyone looked suspect. Marcus came over that weekend. We sat in my kitchen, blinds closed. If they are mimics, he said they need access. Information. Power structures. There was only one at first. Yes, he replied. That's how invasions work. He said it casually, like we were talking about weather. I felt something shift inside me. I couldn't quit. If I left, I'd lose sight of them. If I stayed, I'd be closer to whatever this was. So I stayed. I became invisible on purpose. Moved slower. Spoke less. I started keeping notes. Who blinked wrong? Who mirrored expressions a beat late? Who never seemed tired? Then I saw the second one. This time, it was in the underground parking garage. Assistant Director Lyle Harris. I was sweeping near the elevators when I heard the same wet tearing. Behind a concrete pillar, I watched. Harris's body sagged forward. The gray thing behind him folded him inward like a collapsing tent. It was efficient, cleaner than before. Practice makes perfect. That's when I realized something worse. They weren't invading fast. They were replacing one at a time. Strategic, surgical, no panic, no chaos, just quiet substitution. Marcus wanted proof. Record it. With what? They'd see. Then what's the plan? You just gonna mop floors while lizard men run Congress? I didn't laugh, because I had started noticing something about Marcus too. He used to interrupt me constantly. Now he listened fully before responding. Perfect pauses. Perfect eye contact. One night I tested him. What was our English teacher's name senior year? I asked suddenly. He didn't hesitate. Mrs. Calder. Correct. But he smiled after. Too wide. You okay, man? He asked. I felt cold. What if it wasn't just the building? What if they were already everywhere? Mailman, cop, best friend. Every face became a mask. Every delay in conversation felt mechanical. I stopped sleeping. I started watching people's reflections in windows, looking for lag. Sometimes I swear I saw it. A split-second misalignment between expression and emotion. Like a bad dub in a foreign film. Then came the night it noticed me. 4th floor again. I was emptying the trash outside Ren's office. The door opened. Working late? He asked. His voice was perfect. I kept my eyes down. Always, sir. He stepped closer. Too close. You've been very attentive lately. I forced a shrug. Just doing my job. Silence. I could feel him studying my face, searching for something. Then he leaned in slightly. You know, he said softly, change is necessary for growth. My stomach dropped. Excuse me. He smiled, and for half a second, his cheek sagged, like skin slipping off a hook. Then it snapped back into place. He walked away, calm, measured, certain. He knows. I called Marcus. No answer. I drove to his auto shop. Closed early. Lights off. I pounded on the door. Nothing. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I answered. "Stop looking," Marcus's voice said. But it wasn't right. It was too smooth. Too even. "You don't understand," the voice continued. "You're safe if you comply." My hand shook. "How many of you are there?" A pause. Then, enough. The line went dim. I went back to work the next night. What choice did I have? If I ran, I'd never know. If I stayed, I might at least see. The building felt different. Quieter. Like something had shifted into a new phase. In the elevator mirror, I studied my own face. My own blinking. My own breathing. For a terrifying second, I wondered, what if they don't replace everyone? What if they copy? What if the original keeps living, unaware he's already been duplicated? I pressed my fingers to my cheeks. Warm. Human. I think. On the 4th floor, every office door was open. Lights on. Empty. Except one. Ren's. Inside a meeting. 5 officials seated around the table. All still. All staring at the door. Waiting. For me. Ren gestured. "Come in." My legs moved. I didn't tell them to. "You've seen more than you should," he said. "But you've also proven useful." The others smiled. In unison. "We prefer a gradual transition," Ren continued. "Observation from inside systems is efficient. Your position is ideal." Cold realization flooded me. They didn't want to replace me. They wanted me exactly where I was. Invisible. Watching. Reporting. A human janitor no one suspects. "You can't just take this world," I whispered. Ren tilted his head. "We already have." One by one, their faces softened. Shifted. Just slightly. Like clay remembering its original shape. And I understood. It was never one at a time. It was only one at a time that I could see. I still work there. I still mop the floors. I still empty the trash. Everyone looks suspect. The mailman. The cop. The cashier. Sometimes I think I'm the last human left in the building. Sometimes I wonder if I ever was. If you work late nights, if someone studies your face a little too carefully, if a smile holds half a second too long, pay attention, because they're not rushing. They're replacing. Slowly, one of us at a time. And the worst part, you'll never know if the person warning you is still human.